everybody. Lance Russell with Dave Brown right alongside Corey Macklin. Off again this week, and he'll be back maybe next week, and we'll be looking for him to be right here. Good-looking show today. Couple of major names, Lawler and Dundee. Dave will tell you about it.
Right here, in addition to that, we got a handicap match. We're going to have Miss Texas going against Brandon Baxter and Karen right here in the ring coming up today. Pat Tanaka also is going to be going against Doug Gilbert in a grudge match today.
Boy, that ought to be a good one. And Axel Rotten and Stephen Dunn going at it. Will be going against Brian Lee and Johnny Rotten. That's going to be a big scramble.
And the Smoky Mountain Wrestling USWA feud, this thing just keeps going and going and going. We'll have some special information regarding PG-13.
Yeah, they were scheduled here today, Dave. Got a call last night about it, and they are not going to be here. And so we'll be telling you more about that. And looking forward to seeing them back together. Jerry Lawler's superstar Bill Dundee will be in a tag match. We'll be back, ready to go with the action in just a moment. Okay, we're ready to go to it. Referee Bill Rush is in there. We have Brandon Baxter and Uptown Karen out here. And here comes a tough little lady out of Dallas, Texas. Miss Texas going in a handicap match against Uptown Karen from Glasgow, Scotland. And Brandon Baxter, who I wish he would go back where he came from, really is whatever I wish.
Yeah, he has been a problem ever since he arrived in the USWA. He will be not in the corner, but in the ring this time. This is a handicap match. Miss Texas is going to have to go against the both of them. The way this situation came about is because in some previous matches against Brandon and against Karen, there had been interference from outside the ring. So what Miss Texas said is, hey, put them both in here so I can keep an eye on them. I don't have to worry about one of them sneaking around behind me there, maybe.
We have some dynamite footage coming up for you a little bit later. Oh, look at that gal. She is a little one, but you can't believe how tough she is. Look at that heave. Beautiful with that arm drag, Dave.
Against Brandon Baxter, nobody we'd rather see her be successful against, I don't think. Here comes Karen. Boy, talk about that Brandon Baxter. Here's a kid who arrives in the USWA making all kind of noise, and now with a Smoky Mountain USWA feud that's been going on, this guy turns out to be taking sides on the wrong way, apparently.
Yeah, we've got a couple of them around like that aren't endearing themselves to anybody around here. Whoa, big elbow drops down on Karen. She's trying to make a tag on Brandon. Brandon doesn't seem to be struggling too hard. He says, no, I'm going to let you go back out there and tag. And finally, she forces Brandon Baxter to make the tag, and he climbs by. I think he's had all of Miss Texas already. He wants.
Yeah, what a guy, though, refusing the tag. I mean, you just don't do that in a tag team match, and that's what it is. Brandon and Karen as a tag team against Miss Texas, who has no partner. She's wrestling as a single against the both of them. But Brandon Baxter was pretty well worked over by Miss Texas early. Look at that right there. Drove the shoulder into the midsection. Feels him across the ring as she flipped him. Now she goes after him. Down to the mat goes Brandon Baxter. Wow, what a move by Miss Texas.
Miss Texas kind of putting a Frankensteiner on Brandon, and Uptown Karen jumps into the ring as he rolled over to the corner to make the tag, and she's taking advantage of the exertion she had on that big move on Brandon, and now, look at that, good night. Referee Bill Rush steps right in there on top of the spot, saying, let go of the hair, quit gouging the eyes. Okay, you didn't say anything about choking, did you?
I'll tell you what, Uptown Karen jumped in there quickly after the tag. She didn't hesitate after Brandon Baxter went to the corner. She seems to have been having at least some success, although she was having to do it with the eye gouging and the choking. Here's Baxter coming back now.
He drops down on Miss Texas, and he goes for the throat break. Yeah, boy, that shows how tough you are. You're a real wrestler. Pounds in with a right hand right to the head of Miss Texas. She was the one that was all for this handicap match, so as Dave said, she could keep an eye on both of them. And Brandon Baxter, who takes plenty of time to show off that incredible physique of his. Tag back to Uptown Karen.
Karen again goes for the choke. She jumps right into action. Both hands wrapped around Miss Texas' throat. Miss Texas has been slowed considerably by this onslaught of the two, with the choking, the hair pulling, and the eye gouging.
We'll say, in fact, that for the short time she misses the elbow drop, short time she's been in professional wrestling, Uptown Karen has shown a lot of good traits. Unfortunately, she was schooled by Downtown Bruno, and right off the bat, that's going to put you on the wrong track. Now they got him open there, and look at it, Miss Texas flail away. Nails Baxter again with a fist, and the referee says, I've told her, and she just keeps hammering the shoulder into the midsection of Uptown Karen in the corner.
Texas really working on Uptown Karen. Now flips her out of the corner back to the center of the ring. Referee still trying to get Brandon Baxter out back in the corner. Miss Texas drives that shoulder.
Look at over here, Dave.
Downtown Bruno sneaking in the ring. What's he got in his hand? Oh, he's got a bunch of powder there.
He powders Miss Texas, blinds her while the referee is trying to get Baxter out. Karen takes her up 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be a victory for all three of them. Uptown Karen, Brandon Baxter, and Downtown Bruno, who got the job done with a handful of powder, where the other two had no success when they were trying to wrestle with her whatsoever.
And Miss Texas is saying to the referee, can't you see what just went on here? And he's not allowing it, apparently. It looks like the decision's going to stand.
Well, there's another great win for Brandon Baxter and friends.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 3-on-1 this time. You're just outdoing yourself all the way.
You know what, Lance Russell? You're not going to ruin my day. I got some of the best news of my life last week.
Oh, you did?
Just last night, I got the news, as a matter of fact. You know, right here on television, I want to pledge my allegiance to Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I want to pledge my allegiance to Sandy Scott, to Jim Cornette, to Mark Curtis, and each and every one of the thugs.
Yeah, I can well imagine that you are a real first-class traitor is what you are.
Oh, a traitor. A traitor against the USWA. From the first day I was in the USWA, it's been a conspiracy to try to get rid of me. The USWA has tried to shut the mouth of Brandon Baxter, and as of yet, geez, it has not happened, as is obvious. Last night I was sitting at home, and I got a phone call from Jim Cornette and from Mark Curtis. And they said that they took care of PG-13, that they just might have ended the careers of PG-13 last night in Knoxville, Tennessee. So you know what? I told him, I said, send me a tape. I said, I want to see it firsthand. I've got a messenger right now waiting at the airport, and coming up to this television station very soon will be a tape of PG-13's last night in wrestling.
Yeah, well, okay. I, for some reason, don't believe everything he says, but I do believe this. We'll be back with big action coming up in just a moment. Well, I tell you, I listen to guys like this Brandon Baxter who comes over here and says he's pledged his allegiance to Bill.
I think, yeah, I know they threw the powder in her face. I'm reversing decision. Texas wins.
Miss Texas wins it by disqualification. All right, well, the day's gotten brighter already, and here comes Downtown Bruno and Uptown Karen going after the referee. I hope that cost you money, Bruno.
Yes,
That's the kind of stuff right there.
We had that on camera. That'll cost him.
Okay, we were talking about the situation with Smoky Mountain, Dave, and it just keeps getting more intense, more intense, more intense. We've got some of the action. Smoky Mountain USWA, share it with you. Take a look at this. The battle goes on until one team, the entire 7 men, are handcuffed to the cage. Once that has been accomplished, the winning team will then have 5 minutes to do with as they choose.
Jimmy Cornette, I've listened to your mouth long enough, and right now I'm going to shove this bed where the sun don't shine.
Brian Christopher going after Jimmy Cornette and Brandon Baxter. Over in the corner, J.C. Ice. Tom Pritchard just took a shot from Wildfire Tommy Rich. Right up above us, Bill Dundee with Pat Tanaka. Brian Lee holding Wolfie D. Tracy Smothers hammered by the Iceman. Robert Gibson with a trash can lid just nailed Dundee. And Billy Jack Hayes pounding on Robert Gibson in the corner. Tom Pritchard just crumpled to his knees with a trash can top. With a chair, the Iceman just got nailed by Buddy Landell. Doug Gilbert goes after Landell with his own special weapon, a walking stick, a cane. Tracy Smothers caught by the King. Set him up, and Dundee finished him off with a trash can lid. Remember, each member of one team must be handcuffed in order to win. Tanaka just nailed with a trash can and put to the floor. Wolfie going after Tracy Smothers. Gorgeous George III hammers J.C. Ice. Across the way, one member, Tom Pritchard, has been handcuffed. Across the way, Nature Boy Buddy Landell handcuffed. Tracy trying to climb up and out. Wolfie D after him. Brian Lee, low bridges. Dundee going after Smothers with a trash can lid. Landell, Gorgeous George III, and Tom Pritchard handcuffed. Doug Gilbert handcuffed on the far side. Referee Bill Rush up checking those who are handcuffed. Once again, Gorgeous George III. Gilbert going after Robert Gibson. He's loose. Pritchard handcuffed. Landell handcuffed. Gorgeous George III. Tommy Rich with a chair. Brian Lee with a chair. Waller after Tanaka with a metal chair. J.C. Ice trying to finish off Gorgeous George III, who is handcuffed. Lawler and Tanaka in a duel. Brian Lee trying to be handcuffed by Tommy Ritchie. Got him! Prime time! Handcuffed over here on the side. Bill Dundee handcuffed on the far side of the ring. Tracy Smothers He's got him handcuffed. Lawler going after Tanaka. He got him handcuffed. But Smothers goes after Lawler. Robert Gibson handcuffed. Wolfie D handcuffed. Lawler, Billy Jack Haynes, Tracy Smothers, Wildfire Tommy Rich still loose and battling away. USWA with the lead at the moment. Smothers going after Lawler's wrist. He's got him over on the side. Lawler got loose. He was not handcuffed. Smothers still trying to rattle him up over there. Lawler with a trash can hammering away. Billy Jack Haynes, Lawler, Wildfire, Tommy Rich, and Tracy Smothers, the only one of Smoky Mountain loose. And now Lawler breaks free again. Brandon Baxter leaps up on the cage. Brian Christopher's got him by the pants leg, chasing him with a ball bat. And just buried him on the floor. Tracy Smothers up in the ring with Billy Jack Haynes and Wildfire Tommy Rich and Jerry Lawler finally handcuffed. Doug Gilbert grabs a chair. Now it's Gilbert, Rich, Haynes, all of them against Tracy Smothers. Gilbert attacking with a chair, and Tracy rips him. Gilbert back outside, caught by primetime Brian Lee and Robert Gibson. In the ring, Tracy Smothers with Wildfire Tommy Rich and Billy Jack Haynes after him. Smothers jabbed with a chair, nailed over the head. And Tracy Smothers staggered. Down he goes. Doug Gilbert was handcuffed by Prime Time and Robert Gibson. Smothers still fighting to stay alive up there. Rich down on the floor, slams Smothers into the ring, the cage. Tommy, whoa, and Billy Jack just dusted him. And takes one back from Tracy. And Rich hammered. Now Smothers after Haynes. Tommy Rich runs Smothers over. And the handcuffs are going around while Haynes holds him. Tracy Smothers handcuffed. So the winners are going to be the USWA with all of Smoky Mountain handcuffed to the ring. And now it's Rich and Haynes, the only two that survived the handcuffs, as the rest of USWA. 5 minutes. The winners get 5 minutes with the losers. USWA will get 5 minutes. And what? Billy Jack Haynes jumps Tommy Rich. Hands the handcuff key down to Brian Lee, who is undoing Tracy Smothers. Rich caved on the floor. Doug Gilbert after him. Brian Christopher flies into the ring after Billy Jack. Smothers it loose. Brian Christopher, the keeper of the key, fired in there. Gilbert collapsed to his knees as Smothers is loose. Christopher down on the floor. Primetime Brian Lee after him. Watch his shoulder. For crying out loud. Robert Gibson loose. Pat Tanaka loose. Buddy Landell now loose. As Billy Jack Haynes helped get them all loose. Smoky Mountain lost it. They were the ones that got handcuffed. USWA was supposed to have 5 minutes with them all handcuffed. Doug Gilbert hammered down to the mat. Tracy Smothers after him. Gorgeous George loose and going after Wolfie D. The King being assaulted by primetime Brian Lee. Come on, you guys. Enough's enough in there, for crying out loud. Well, Billy Jack is the kind of guy you just can't really ever trust. He talks about putting fear. One of the things I fear about him is he's never telling the truth. Let's take a listen now and hear what Billy Jack had to say about this whole situation.
Let me have your attention. Billy Jack Haynes speaking here. I don't want any fan to ever come up to me and ask for an autograph again. I said before, pro wrestling is the toughest sport going in any sport in history. And I'm the kingpin of the sport. Not Jerry Lawler, not Brian Christopher, not Sid Vicious, nobody but me. So look in the camera, look at me, and I'm telling you right to your face, I'm the baddest thing going in the USWA. Now, all you ignorant idiots out there who thought for 1 second that I would jump on the side of the fence, you really got a surprise, didn't you? I had you all fooled, you ignorant food stamp freaks. Well, just look in my eyes, because eyes don't lie. I took out Brian Christopher with the broken shoulder. I took out Sid Vicious with a ruptured neck. And I'll take out any man that wants to step in the squared circle of pro wrestling. Because I'm a street fighter, a boxer, and a pro wrestler combined. And baby, I got a mental problem. So when you get in there with me, no matter where, why, when, I'm going to take you out. So park an ambulance in the back. Because I don't care who it is, you're going to take a ride on it.
Boy, I got to tell you, the intensity, as we said earlier, it keeps building and building, and it's just these thugs, of course, this is prejudicial. I'll say that for a fact, because USWA, you better believe that we're going to feel that way about it. But I've never seen anything like what these guys... yeah.
My messenger just brought this from the airport. It's a tape of what happened last night in Knoxville. It's the demise of PG-13. It's the demise of the USWA. I want you to take this to whoever you have to take it to, whatever higher up you have to take it to, and get it aired right now. I want to watch it right now.
I'll tell you one thing we'll take it to right now is... No, you're not going to see it now. We're going to have this preview.
That's what I brought it here for.
Yeah, I wouldn't put this on the air for anything without having previewed.
What?
Let's take a break and we'll be back.
What are you
No,
talking
you
about?
don't hear it now. Listen, man, we
Why
gotta
don't
get
you
it.
people shut your mouths, huh?
Talking about shutting your mouth, you don't have to come out here hollering like you're running everything here.
Are we about ready to show this
Well,
tape?
just wait a minute. I'm
sure-
going to have to find out from the producer up there whether we can show it. Anybody looked at the tape as yet?
I'm sure Eddie Marlin doesn't want to see it.
Just
I'm sure
wait a
Forrest
minute.
Gump, Randy Hales doesn't want to see it, but I want to see
Yeah.
it. Now, show the tape.
Okay. Hey, if you will just be quiet for a minute, I'll tell you. The producer has said they've looked at the tape. Some of it is a little graphic. Some of it they're not going to show, but they will run the tape so let's get ready. This comes out. We haven't seen this as yet. This will be our first time, Dave. Let's take a look at it right now, coming in from Smoky Mountain and what happened to PG-13.
Civic Coliseum, where Smoky Mountain Wrestling has just promoted the greatest night in professional wrestling history, the Super Bowl of Wrestling. And PG-13 has successfully defended their USWA Tag Team title belts, but I might add, under some very questionable circumstances tonight.
Now, I don't know about questionable, but all I know is the USWA and Smoky Mountain got a little conflict. Now, Smoky Mountain wrestlers come to our company, and we treat them with respect and knowledge, and they come to take our USWA titles, and they still don't have them. But now we come to Knoxville, to your Smoky Mountain organization, to defend our titles, and we walk out of there the champions that we are, JC Ice and Wolfie D, which makes PG-13, Jack. You tell them, Wolf.
That's right. See, now wait a minute.
What are you doing?
Hey,
what do you want?
Hey, you're in our back.
Take a look at that now! Take a look at that! The big USWA Tag Team Champions! You ain't gonna make combat in a cage, punks! Because that's what happens! That's what happens!
Yeah, we are... This is what we'd warned, that it's a little gripe. That's Cornette running his mouth. Yeah, killing it. Well, that's just why they're called thugs. As Wolfie D and PG-13, who were scheduled to be here today, and we'd gotten a call, and now I understand why. Heavenly Bodies and Cornette, and they're all jumping in. Mark Curtis, all getting their share of it when they've got them outnumbered 4-2 or even more than that. Wolfie D.
There you go.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's enough of that. They beat up on him. That makes you proud, right?
I love that. I bet Casper the Ghost, Randy Hales, doesn't like it, but I could care less what he likes. You see, PG-13, you mess with Smoky Mountain, the greatest wrestling organization in the world, and you get messed up.
Such a lousy traitor.
Right now, I want to bring out the newest member of the Legend Slayers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Pat Tanaka.
Why don't you and Tanaka head over to Smoky Mountain and just join up with them full time? We wouldn't miss you one bit in here. We've got Pat Tanaka coming out with Doug Gilbert. Boy, I got to tell you, there's just something about...
Gilbert, he might as well not come out here unless he wants to get hurt.
I don't worry about Doug Gilbert. He can take care of himself. We've had a lot of problems with him right here, David and I have, but I'll tell you, at least the son of a gun has enough loyalty to represent the group that he's with. Here he comes, Dangerous Doug Gilbert.
There he is. He doesn't seem to be backing up one step from Pat Tanaka, the newest member of the Legend Slayers, managed by Brandon Baxter.
You speak of a traitor, you speak about Doug Gilbert.
What? Brandon Baxter yelling, you speak of a traitor. Oh, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that he and Doug used to sort of be together, but not anymore. Brandon Baxter in the corner of Pat Tanaka. Tanaka with a reverse. Whips Doug Gilbert into the turnbuckle.
Tanaka, who is a martial arts expert himself, just got caught by an extended side kick from Doug Gilbert, and Gilbert fired up and ready for this confrontation.
Great move as Doug Gilbert suckered him into the corner. He was hanging in the corner like he was hurt, and all of a sudden when Tanaka came after him, boom, that side kick came out, and Tanaka still trying to recover from that as Doug Gilbert stalks around the ring. There's Brandon Baxter with a few words for Pat Tanaka, words of encouragement probably to say, hey, go ahead, get back in there. Tanaka taking his own good time. Now back up on the ring apron and through the ropes. Doug Gilbert dancing around the ring waiting for it.
Gilbert, who is really looking ready. Love to see it when an athlete primed and ready submission, and that definitely is the way Gilbert has looked today. And Tanaka takes him off, and then a shoulder puts him down. Big elbow, and Tanaka, he's tough. There's no two ways about it. I don't know what happened to him down the middle, though, that he would end up siding with the Smoky Mountain crew. But then maybe it was the influence of Brandon Baxter, Dave.
Oh, I don't have any doubt about it. I think Baxter is the one that convinced him what was going on. Baxter's version of it bears very little resemblance to the truth. Ooh, big right hand by Tanaka. Doug Gilbert down on the mat. He's down but not out. Tanaka goes to work on it. Doug Gilbert. Back up on his feet now. Tanaka with the kick. Gilbert again down to his knees and hanging back over in the corner as Tanaka grabs the hair.
Tanaka felt the wrath of Gilbert early on, and there's Brandon Baxter choking Gilbert over that bottom rope as he pulls down on his head, with a rope right across his throat. And Tanaka back over, slaps away at him, trying to insult Doug Gilbert. Wrong guy. They don't call him Dangerous Doug for nothing. And look at Gilbert roaring back with lefts and rights. Hammers Tanaka's head into the turnbuckle. And the whip diagonally across the ring. Down he goes. And Doug Gilbert waiting for another shot with him. And Baxter jumps in the ring. Let's disqualify.
Yep. It's going to be a disqualification, and boy, is Brandon Baxter glad because Doug Gilbert had him. He's still got him. He's got him. He fires him into the rope. Boom! Catches him with the right hand. Baxter wisely rolls to get out of the ring, down on the floor, anywhere away from Doug Gilbert. Doug's going to win it. He's going to win it on a DQ.
Doug Gilbert, the winner. We've got plenty more. Dundee and Lawler together again. Coming up on today's show. Back in a moment.